What's good, YouTube? Everyone here, back again once again. And today, people, today is Thursday, so you know it means with another Pokemon Top 5 all lined up and ready to go for you guys. Now, this week's Top 5 is the Top 5 Fighting type Pokemon. Last week, you had a choice between either Top 5 Ground type Pokemon or Top 5 Fighting type Pokemon and Fighting type Pokemon 1. Now, this week's Top 5, as well as any Top 5 that I do, is 100% opinionated, meaning that if you don't agree with it, then by all means, leave your own Top 5 in the comment section below. My Top 5s are not entirely based off of stats, and they're not entirely based off of just design. They're based off of a culmination of different things. If you just want the best fighting type Pokemon by stats, Bulbapedia is the place for you to be, not this top 5. Now, in my top 5, I choose not to use any type of legendary Pokemon because at the end of the series, you're going to do a top 10 legends video. But if your top 5 requires use of legends, then by all means, go right ahead and use it. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into this week's top 5 fighting type Pokemon. Beginning our countdown this week in the number 5 slot, we have the powerful Lucario. Lucario is not a legendary Pokemon. Before you even type that in the comment section below, he's not legendary, he's not pseudo-legendary, he's none of that. He might be a semi-pseudo-legend at most, but just because he got his own movie does not mean he's a legend. Last week we had Rotom on the countdown, and everyone tried to tell me Rotom was a legend. No, Rotom is not a legend. Volcarona's not a legend, Zoroark's not a legend, Arcanine's not a legend, Lucario's not a legend, and Rotom's not a legend. But we have Lucario on the countdown this week just because his Mega Evolution is badass as fuck. It is so powerful, it's physical and special, he gets priority out the ass. I mean, do we really need to explain why Lucario is on the top 5 fighting type Pokemon list? I mean, do we really need to explain? I went ahead and used the Power Up Punch because I just want to get diversity in moves for this top 5, but I mean, Lucario, close combat, fucking Aura Sphere, do you really need to does this need explanation? Does Lucario need explanation? In the number 4 slot this week, we have Poliwrath. Some people might be mad because Lucario's lower than Poliwrath, but Poliwrath for me, Gen 1, I grew up with Poliwrath. He was just that dude that always looked like, I don't know how to explain it. He's just like a fucking cool dude. Like, I don't know. It's just like, if I had to go into a fight, Poliwrath's who I want on my side. It's unfortunate that his stats aren't a little bit higher. That really does suck. But I mean, I love his typing, water fighting. His design, even though it's basic as fuck. I really just like Poliwrath. You know, I feel like every week when we do these top 5s, there's always that one Pokemon on the countdown that I just really can't explain why I like it. I just do. And for me, Poliwrath is it this week. I mean, water is my favorite type, so if we had to have a water fighting type, I'm glad that Poliwrath is it. But again, like I said, I just really wish he was a little bit stronger, especially since they brought in Politoed. Like, come on, man. Why you gotta show up Poliwrath like that? But he's at least number 4 this week. In the number 3 spot this week, we have a 6th gen new introduction Pokemon over here. We have Hawlucha himself. Hawlucha's on here just because it's cool. It's badass. And what can I say? We have a motherfucking Mucha Lucha wrestling Pokemon. Like, come on. How many generations did we go through? Well, I know how many generations we went through. But I mean, still, you get what I'm saying? Like, we waited forever to finally get a wrestling Pokemon. And look at the shiny Hawlucha too. It's just beautiful. It's amazing. I love it in every possible way. Again, it's one of those factors where it's like I wish it was a little bit better, especially for competitive, especially with the flying press move and all that. It's just Hawlucha, you got cool points, man. You don't have power points. You have cool points, and that's about all I can give you. I'm sorry. That's about all I can give you. And of course, the shiny, the black, the purple, the red, easily one of the best shinies that are available right now. And it's just, I love it. I love it. And the motherfucking Roach Mucha Lucha over here is getting ready to smash the fuck out of this Slowpoke. My lord, I just like it. There's nothing I can say. I like it. Claiming the number 2 spot is another Pokemon that you should have seen coming with a top 5 fighting type Pokemon. We have Heracross himself. Now, Heracross was a monster to begin with, before 6th gen came along and they gave him a Mega Evolution. And depending upon who you talk to, some people say this Mega Evolution was for the better, some people say that it kind of sort of hinders him because he's really kind of slow, and if you're not running a sticky web team, I don't know. Like I said, depending upon who you talk to, they might say whether it's worth it or not. But for me, Heracross, I tend to like his regular version a little bit more than his Mega Evolution, especially because you're kind of limited to the skill link moves. I'd rather just hit really fucking hard with a close combat and just call it good. Not that you can't do that in the Mega Evolution form, but I mean, it's just with skill link, you know, everyone wants to run like the Pin Missile, Rock Blast combo, and all that shit, and it's just, I'd rather just, like I said, hit hard with an Earthquake, hit hard with a Night Slash, hit hard with the next Scissor, hit hard with a close combat, and just do the damage and get out. But it is what it is. Heracross, I love. He just hits hard, and that typing, bug fighting, my lord. And the number 1 slot this week, we have Scrafty himself. Now, last year when we did this, Scrafty, I think he made it on the list, but he was a lot lower. But personally, especially after Blaze Black, after really sitting down and taking the time to use one, and especially in X and Y Wi-Fi, I'm gonna go ahead and hop on the train and say, you know, he's not a bad Pokemon. I know I give Callum shit about him all the time, but Scrafty overall, you get a couple Dragon Dances up, he's a janitor. He sweeps everything. He sweeps everything, and then on top of that, there's diversity with the set. You can get the bulk up set, so that you can just get all that defense up, take the hits, rest, and well, you don't even. Yeah, I was gonna say rest. I was gonna say you don't even need a Chesto Berry because you got the Shed Skin on that combo, or you just go straight all offense with the Dragon Dance. I mean, it's just, to me, Scrafty is diverse in that sense. The moveset changes. Knockoff gets the boost in Gen 6. I mean, just overall, he's a badass. And of course, just check out his design. He's a fucking pants lizard. It's Nintendo's attempt, or Game Freak's attempt, to connect to the youth, you kids, with your MTV and the rap music. That's what Scrafty is here for. But Scrafty overall is cool. I like him. Like I said, if you just set up with him, it's easy to sweep. It is easy to sweep. There's not much that can stop him after that. And then again, the Drain Punch too, getting all that HP back. I mean, it's just. I would highly recommend, from experience, if you have not used a Scrafty yet, try it out. You would be pleasantly surprised, is all I can say. But he's our number 1 in our top 5 fighting type Pokemon. So there you have it, people. That wraps up this week's top 5 fighting type Pokemon. If you enjoyed this week's top 5, make sure you smash that like button down below and share with us your own top 5 fighting type Pokemon as well. Now, for next week's top 5, we are going to have the losing streak so far of the ground types. They're gonna get another chance to redeem themselves. We're gonna have the choice between either top 5 ground type Pokemon, which I love ground types. I don't know why you guys don't, or top 5 psychic type Pokemon. I think this will be very interesting to see which one takes the lead and which one we have next week, because I know psychic types are popular, and I know ground types have had a lot of support as of late. It's just each week they just keep getting just stepped on just a little bit. Fighting type barely beat them out. But either way, you guys, share with us your own top 5 fighting type Pokemon in the comment section below. Smash that like button for me if you haven't already, and of course vote for next week's top 5 typing. And with that, you guys, thank you for your support, and thank you for checking out the video. You know me, YouTube, Nappy192. I'm out.